Hello everyone and welcome back to another Super Rugby podcast with your host Damien Warren and
Toby Harris.
Is that a little bit better than last week's intro?
Very,
you didn't
very
like
much. I did not like it. It got me very confused.
As we always start now, because we always used to forget to plug ourselves, it's the general plug.
Yes.
It's just please help us. Please help us.
Download it. Even if you don't listen to it, download it.
Absolutely. So we are on YouTube on Super Rugby Podcast. You're next, mate.
We're on the Twitter, the Super Rugby Pod at twitter.com.
On the Gmail at the Super Rugby Podcast at gmail.com. And we're going to ask, actually, we last year did some listeners' questions.
Yes.
Voice questions.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
And I'm going to ask for them again.
Yes.
I'm going to ask for them again.
They were brilliant though, weren't they?
They made the show because they weren't us.
Come on, Razzler Dazzler.
So if you would like your question to be answered via voice question, then please send those into the Super Rugby Podcast at gmail.com. And last but not least, not least.
Also, we're on Facebook, Super Rugby Podcast, but we are now on the gram. That's Instagram for you technologically challenged people like myself.
And myself.
So that is at Super Rugby Podcast.
Please go there and
follow
support us.
We'll follow you back.
Other ways you can support us is on YouTube. Click that subscribe button.
Yes.
Click the bell. I'm not even sure what the bell does, but click the bell. Everyone likes to click the bell.
Never clicked a bell. I've rung a bell, but never clicked one. Anyway, moving on.
Breaking news,
yes.
Toba. Breaking news. First up, mate, is the Tackle Technique Review Officer appointed.
I'd love to be that guy. Yes,
really?
That's a high tackle.
That's dangerous.
That's okay tackle. He'll be getting paid an absolute handful as well, won't he?
Well, it's old Jackson, isn't it? He's retired from actual refereeing. Yeah. He's gone into teaching referees how to do the job, and now he's going to do the tackle review. Actually, I think it's a good thing. You know, they've done a lot of research into concussions. We are the sports that's leading the forefront for concussions. We're not trying to hide it.
No.
Football, a little bit, trying to hide the impact of concussions. The NFL for years hid the impact of concussions.
Yeah.
And to be fair to rugby, they are saying, no, we want to get on top of this. We don't want to be a statistic saying that we didn't do enough. So they're looking at all the height of the tackles. And what they've come up with, Tobes, is the number one thing that suffers from people that suffer from concussion is the upright tackle. So if you don't go in low and you go for that ball tackle, basically you're more likely to clash heads and therefore suffer from concussion.
Well, fair enough though as well. There's been loads of those lately as well. Because
that's the way that the game's gone. Yeah. You've got to stop that ball from being offloaded. You've got to try and hold the ball up.
Yes.
And obviously Glenn Jackson's going to look at reviewing those, and he's going to bring in the recommendations for next season's Super Rugby competition.
No offloads.
Oh, you got to have offloads.
Oh, definitely you do, but that's one of the sort of ways to stop it, isn't it?
I think they'll just say you've got to tackle below the old nip-nips. I call them Bill and Ben, mate, because they're so big.
Bill and Ben, the flower pot men.
My double D cups.
Oh, God.
But it's going to be interesting. He's a good man to do the job because he's been a player before.
He's been a player, he's been a referee, and now he's a welfare officer.
Welfare officer.
Cool, good on him.
Next up, mate, and this is a really interesting one, I think, is that Eddie Jones.
Steady Eddie.
It's the succession plan, and it's the rumour saying that Eddie Jones is going to be replaced by Razzie.
See, that's it's a tough one. He was very successful with South Africa. But so Eddie's been successful with England. He bought them back from nothing and went on that unbelievable run.
But no one wants to work with them. They
you're
can't
right.
even find at the moment. This is England, finalists of the Rugby World Cup.
Yeah.
One of the highest paid coaching jobs around. They can't find an attack coach.
Can they not?
No one wants to work with them. I will work with them.
Well, that's why they can't score any tries.
I will work with them. I'll take that job. I'll do it, Eddie.
Yeah, just pass it out wide and get them to score to try over the line.
Just get it to Johnny May. He'll score in the corner, mate.
Watson, mate. But that's why they're not scoring any tries at the moment.
No, that's not the reason why. They do, without Tuolangi playing, we don't want to go too much into the Six Nations, but we are going to touch on it a little bit later on. Without Tuolangi, they're not really a team that you need to worry about attack-wise, in my opinion.
True.
With Tuolangi, absolutely, because he punches holes in you.
Yeah.
They're saying, I can't see Razzie doing that.
Nah.
I can't see Razzie going from South
I'm not
Africa.
sure you can see him actually taking the job.
No.
I think it's all just rumours at the moment.
Massive rumours. And
so really, it's not breaking news. It's breaking rumours.
I think the issue is that I don't think they can see Eddie lasting the full 4 years, or the players lasting the full 4 years with Eddie.
No, a lot of those players will go.
Well, they would have had enough.
Yeah.
They can't continue.
But also they're
he would have
getting
broken
on
them
as well,
yeah,
aren't
yeah.
they?
No, they're all young, mate. They're all very young. Couple of probably Ben Youngs. He's going to go.
Yeah, true. That's true, actually.
Most of them are
How
very,
old's
very
Owen
young.
Farrell?
Oh, he's a whippersnapper, mate. He must be... I actually don't know, but I'm
No.
guessing like 25.
No, he's older than that. Surely. I'm just going to have a look it up because
I'll move on. I'll move on with the news. And the next one is Finn Russell.
Yes.
He has fallen out with Gregor Townsend, which is actually quite ironic because Gregor Townsend as a player was like Finn Russell, which was,
No, he's 28.
ying it. Yeah, 28. What did I say?
You said 25.
Okay, I take it back.
Anyway, carry on.
Finn Russell fallen out with Gregor Townsend, which is quite ironic because Gregor Townsend was a very similar player to him. They obviously don't get along, but the best Scottish player is no longer playing for Scotland, and to be honest, they need all the help they can get.
Yes, especially at the moment now that their captain is just dropping the ball over the line and all that sort of jazz.
He dropped the ball over the line in the first game, and in the second game, he dropped the ball over the other line and luckily got away with it. But he's a good player, isn't he?
He's a good player. But Finn Russell, I think, is quite a hard character to be around as well. I think he's a bit of a loose cannon.
He reminds me a little bit of you.
He does not. No, wrong. He reminds me of Quade Cooper.
Okay.
A genius at times, and Cipriani. Genius at times.
But some people love... No, okay. Let's just rewind the clock. You've said Finn Russell's like Cipriani and like Quade Cooper.
Yes.
But actually, I know some coaches that think Quade Cooper is like the best thing ever.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure Townsend thinks something similar, but he's just a difficult character to work with. Like Steady Eddie.
Oh, sorry,
Good
like
coach.
Steady Eddie. Good point, yeah.
Shut up. A good coach, but difficult to work with.
Yeah.
So no one wants to work with him.
Yet again, Eddie, if you're looking for any attack coach, I'm here for you, though.
And I'll be your PA, even though I'm not very good with that sort of stuff, but I'll help you.
And last but not least, and this is the biggest one.
Yeah.
This is breaking
This is not
news.
a rumour.
This isn't a rumour, is it?
No, this is breaking news.
So South Africa in secret talk. I love that. South Africa in secret talk. Well, no, not anymore, lads.
We've just cracked it.
So South Africa in secret talks with the Rugby Championship to exit the Rugby Championship to join the Six Nations. It makes a lot of sense for them. A lot more money.
Yeah,
a lot more money. And the way that Australian rugby's going, more consistent competition. You know, you think week in, week out they'll be playing Ireland, Scotland.
Wales.
Well, let's not. Wales, France, apart from Italy. Now, they are saying it's not going to be at the expense of Italy, but I could imagine it's going to be at the expense of Italy.
Yeah, but then the Six Nations said, let's bring in Japan, let's bring in Georgia.
Just bring in everyone, apart from us, the Kiwis. What's going wrong with that?
We're too good, mate.
I tell you what, though.
Too good.
If they do go, it could be the end of
Southern Hemisphere rugby.
Yeah, because without them, really, Australia go up and down, up and down. Argentina have been more down than up. We don't really have a lot of strength there. That means that the New Zealand rugby players potentially will say, well, I'm not going to stick around to play in some kind of Mickey Mouse mediocre competition year in, year out. Whereas it's always been, that Tri-Nations has always been the top, or the championship. It's always been the pinnacle of rugby out of the World Cup. And with that gone, I can see a lot of players going. which would be an absolute crying shame.
It would.
Be a
It
crying
would.
shame.
I can see a lot of New Zealand players looking for their ancestry passport.
Yeah. Oh, my grandmother was English once for a day.
she kissed an English guy. Obviously caught a lot of disgusting diseases, but she still kissed him.
And I have someone here to prove it.
Yeah, I need my money.
Now, we had a great question from a listener. David Pilling from Brighton.